Hi, my name is Gepina, and I am the founder and creator of Cohesive Therapy, now also pivoting to the new brand name, Gepina Method and Gepina Method Lymphatics, which is a modality that I have created almost by accident because of my absolute love and desire to help people feel good, seeing how good they feel with massage, and see the transformation over the years of clients getting off of major medications that have caused side effects for them, that have enabled them to function in their lives. Working alongside different naturopathic doctors, plastic surgeons, regular primary care doctors for over 2 decades now. So the reason I chose to do this interview today and talk a little bit about my story is so that you can get a little bit more deeper into what is the why of my life and this modality. And really for me, cohesive therapy is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of self-care, self-love, and loving yourself and those around you. It focuses on the client in front of you, but I do believe that if our clients, us as people, feel better, we're going to be better citizens for the community. We're going to be better mothers. We're going to raise healthier children because we are healthier, which is why there's a very strong emphasis on self-care and exercise. All of the things that I custom created to be very simple for a lay person to be able to access, things that I discovered the long way in healthcare, learning about raw food and nutrition, and just really not so much wanting to give people nutritional advice, but to give them things that I found move the needle in my life and things that I'm starting to really see pop up as a movement in the healthcare sort of nutrition area. So my journey started when I was born. I feel like I was born into experiencing everything I have in my life. My mom and my sister passed away earlier in my life. My sister had a major accident at 27, and my mom passed away when I was 23. So she had breast cancer, and she got diagnosed when I was between 16 to 17 years old. And I really didn't understand what I was, as a child, what my mom was going through. I grew up in Cape Town, South Africa, which I'm very blessed to have grown up there, and really grew up differently, surviving and thriving and learning so much about, uniquely navigating the world because my mom did travel. But as she went through her cancer, late in the later years, I had moved from South Africa to London, and she went to London to visit me because she chose to live in Hawaii when she got cancer and sell all of our property in Nuremberg because that was her dream. And I feel like she's brave, like so brave, to get breast cancer, to lift up and move your entire family to the States, specifically Hawaii, because she wanted us to have a safe and better life than we had in South Africa. Also because she wanted to live in a warm climate. And essentially we all moved over to Hawaii. So in between being in South Africa and going to Hawaii, she landed in London because I was living there to kind of make a little bit of income, and was planning on coming back to South Africa to finish my performing arts degree. So long story short, she came to visit me in London when I was 17. I went to live abroad, but when she arrived, I didn't realize how bad her cancer had gotten within the 8-month period that I was there, and she arrived in a wheelchair. And so I took care of her, and thank you to London, because the healthcare system took her under their wing and gave her cancer therapy that she could not get in South Africa. It just wasn't very accessible. And she got to a point where not only was she out of her wheelchair, but she told me she was going to walk down the plane stairs in Hawaii. She was going to travel and live there, and she did it. And I decided to go there with her and made a choice to become a massage therapist, like as a certified massage therapist, when I went to Hawaii. I was practicing Indian head massage in South Africa before I went to London, kind of like just learning it and doing health fairs, but I had put it down because I wanted to be a performing artist, an actress, a musician, all these things, which is why I went to London, to make some money so I could pay for my school. So fast forward, going to Hawaii, I got my mom landed, we found some property, and in between the period of when she was selling the property and we're in Hawaii, which was me and my sister and my brothers, we actually were living homeless and driving around the island and, you know, pitching our tents at different beaches. So it wasn't too bad. It was adventurous. But we went through a lot of financial stress and struggle. And so after I became a massage therapist, I actually started working at a Mauna Kea hotel. And it just really was great to always be taken care of. I financially was always taken care of and could afford to pay for myself and take care of my mom as well because she wasn't working. After she passed away from cancer, there was a clinic that she was going to called the Gerson Clinic that my sister put her in contact with. And that's where we learned about juicing, the Gerson therapy, which is designed for cancer patients. And at the time when my mom had cancer, me and my sister were going through some things with our health. And so we did the juices with my mom and all the soups and did not expect to get so healthy. And so that was a gift that I got from my mom that I never stopped doing, was juicing, eating really well, and learned a whole new way of being. At the same time in Hawaii, I got really into yoga and exercising, and I had been very overweight from being in London. If you've ever been there, almost everyone gains a lot of weight, but I'd always also struggled with weight off and on in my life. And so when I experienced my first back bend in Bikram and emotional release through my body, like I didn't know it was even a thing. I always thought I was really healthy, but when I started that path of yoga, I lost tons of weight, but more than that, my mind became really healthy and just really learned how to deal with stress through exercise instead of food. And so that was the first part of my journey. And then after my mom had passed away, I moved to the mainland and started a practice in Portland doing auto accident recovery, and kind of had a niche for treating clients with really bad injuries, and I was very fascinated in how to get rid of pain for clients. And a lot of it, the success of my clients came from just kind of my ongoing desire and hunger to like just take every single course that came by me, Hawaiian Lomi, hot stones, my fascial relief, like all the things. And my sister was also a massage practitioner, and she actually was like my little big sister. She exposed me to all these other modalities, specifically myofascial release by John Barnes, that I didn't even know existed. And so her and I practiced massage. She lived in Hawaii, but I was in Oregon. And then there was an incident and she passed away. And that was, in a lot of ways, that was the hardest thing I ever went through, even more than my mom. And the reason I share the story is that we have things that happen to us that can crumble and break us, but you can make them break you or make you beautiful. That's what I say. And I always chose beauty over burnout, beauty over pain. And I tell my clients, I'm like, you know, the more stuff that comes at you that feels bad, the better fertilizer it is for you to like grow that lotus, like that's inside of all of us. It's that beautiful watery flower with all the mud underneath it. So after my sister passed, I went through the muddiest situation in my life ever. I never knew that I would go through that, of course. But I came out on the other side, and the center we have was a vision and mission we had. It was inner city healing for women, for families, men too, that can come together and get accessible healing in a very fast and easy way, and the kind of modalities that you would find up in the Himalayas, really far out, that no one can really get to, that are really designed to powerfully actually heal the mind, body, and spirit, not just a basic massage. That incorporated these concepts of juicing and wellness and really like true meditation. So I started, it's a long story how I got to Vancouver, but I moved to Vancouver and started working with a naturopathic doctor by chance. I had parked in front of her lot, looking at the herbal store, and she happened to be looking for a lymph drainage therapist. And by the time we got done talking ends up she was a cancer doctor and did her residency with my mom's cancer doctor, and she knew who I was talking about. So the proximity and the power and the synergisticity of universe was really profound. And I was just saying, I'm not going to start a new practice in Vancouver. I'm going to do something different. And boom, I started a practice in Vancouver. And so Dr. Cynthia Bai, really taught me so much about inflammation that was not on my radar. That's what changed everything for me. The benefits of the infrared sauna. She was way ahead of her time. Now it's really popular, but back then she explained the whole thing to me, how the inner core temperature of our body, she found that in the Northwest, more women do get cancer because their core temperature is not accurate and different things in the soil. And so she helped me to get my body healthy and know how to deal with breast fibrosis. And I learned about castor oil, which I kind of knew about already, and I was doing skin brushing, but it reiterated that. So I started blending skin brushing, castor oil, all these modalities with my surgery patients. And at the time, I was starting to learn about cupping. I started with a silicone cup, then a Kanzu cup, and then vacuum therapy with the machine. And now I have cups, half of my wall is full of cups. Just the amount of inflammation, transformation, body transformation I saw happen with my client versus being limited to deep tissue, trigger point, and the things that I traditionally learned, I started incorporating those. So that was the lymphatic drainage style that I designed, and it was very effective. I had a client I would go do house calls for. He was a cancer client, so primarily cancer patients at that time was my clientele. I'll never forget. He passed away since then, and while I was treating him, he was very swollen in his male genitalia area, and me and his wife were there, and it was really uncomfortable, and he was going to a lot of different lymphedema clinics. I said, hey, let me try this modality on you where we drain the groin, and it's vacuum therapy. And he knew he was going to pass away, and he was terminal, and he said, I still want to get these treatments because it's the only thing in my life that makes me feel good, and if all it gives me is palliative care, I'm on board. And me and his wife, and I'd go to his house, and they cake and water and all the things. We did this treatment, and when he walked down the stairs and expressed, oh wow, I'm drained down there, I can actually walk, we all just laughed so hard together. And it was this moment of just, I don't know, it's hard to explain when someone's in pain and you can give them a little bit of relief and they're smiling. That's my why. And so at this center, I started getting, after that client, it was actually kind of my last cancer patient I worked with. I just started working with more wellness clients at the center and got so busy that I could not handle it all on my own. And so that's when I started to branch out and hire therapists and train therapists and notice, hey, clients are getting the same results that I gave my clients. Maybe there's something to this modality of cohesiveness where we bring everything together to create the strongest point within our body for self-healing, ultimate homeostasis and balance. So that was my journey. There's so much more to it, but I'm trying to keep it short. And then fast forward into plastic surgery. During COVID, there was a pivot in not many people knew about lymph drainage, not many people knew about vacuum therapies and all of these things, skin brushing, castor oil, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it just blew up and people were getting plastic surgery, and we were the only clinic that knew lymphatic drainage and switched a lot from, our clientele went from 90% pain management to 98% surgery patients within probably 6 to 7 months post-COVID, which I'm really grateful that people are becoming aware of lymphatic drainage right now, and I will say the surgery industry has actually kind of made that happen. So now clients are calling to find out about lymphatic drainage instead of me trying to find people. So it's done a service for us, and I'm very grateful that we're in the position where I just continue to innovate the modalities and never stop learning. Once we had the first surgery patient, I just reformulated everything accordingly to what I saw. And so I don't know, that gift comes from really a God-given gift. I believe I was given to just be able to see, feel, experience, and apply the body, the ability to create modalities and then teach them. So that's my story to where I am right now. And in this present day and time, my why and my focus has shifted a lot to, my son. He's almost 8 years old. And my husband, and how we have built and created this company together for over 13 years and learned to find balance between running the business and having our lives and keeping self-care in the center of it. And then now it's really helping moms, helping families get healthy and understand how valuable it is to have human touch, human connection, the lifestyle of self-care and connecting with your family without distractions. So it's become something so much bigger than I ever planned, but I'm really happy to be in this position to help see how the therapy and the modalities, when clients come in to get therapy and de-stressing, that it makes them better people to go out and serve their community and their family.